Hello, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus, and welcome to your reading. So, Leo, today we're going to go over your energy as well as your person's energy. We're going to see how the both of you are currently viewing this relationship and how you guys feel about it and what actions you guys plan on taking each other's direction and are moving forward. So, with all of that being said, Leo, let's get started. So, in regards to how you're currently viewing this relationship, we do have the Six of Pentacles, we do have the Hermit, and then we also have the Seven of Cups. Okay, with the Six of Pentacles coming out here, it kind of looks like there's somebody here that wants to like work things out with you is basically what I'm getting. Now there's a part of you that does want to work things out with this person, but there's that other part of you that's like, I don't know if I really want to. I don't know if I really should. I don't even know if it's like a really good idea. With the Hermit coming out here, it just kind of looks like you're retracting your energy to really figure out like what you want to do, like what Leo wants to do, what's going to make Leo happy at the end of the day. It looks like you walked away from this dynamic between you and this person because it wasn't necessarily making you happy for whatever reason. It just simply wasn't making you happy and or serving you. But even though you walked away from this dynamic, even though, you know, the two of you may not technically speaking still be together anymore, because this person is conveying to you that they want to work things out with you, and there's still that part of you that does want to work things out with them as well. I do see you kind of taking this dynamic between the two of you into consideration all over again, but I don't see you making any sort of impulsive decisions. I think that you need some time to really figure out where you want to be and how you want to move forward. How does this person currently view this relationship? All right, let's see. Yeah. We have the Five of, I mean, this person basically looks at you and this dynamic that they share with you as something we're fighting for. So they're putting up a fight, Leo. They're putting up a fight to get you back. They're putting up a fight to do whatever they can on their end to make this dynamic between the two of you work. This person looks at you like you're literally their everything. Yeah, they look at you like you're literally their everything. They also feel like, you know, without you in their life for them just doesn't have any sort of like meaning and or purpose anymore. I am getting that. I feel like this relationship brought a lot of like meaning and purpose into their life. I also feel like this dynamic, you know, between the two of you, you know, caused this person to have something to essentially look forward to. You know what I mean? So yeah, they're definitely putting up a fight, you know, to keep this dynamic, you know, between the two of you intact and afloat. At the end of the day, what's going to essentially make them happy is the two of you coming back together and working things out. Okay, that's what's going to make this person happy at the end of the day. But, you know, the decision is entirely up to you, nonetheless. But how does Leo currently feel? Okay, we got the Two of Cups, we got the Ten of Swords, and then we also have the Six of Cups. Out here at the bottom of the deck, we do have the High Priestess. The two of you could very well be married to one another. I mean, we do have the High Priestess to the Hierophant. Technically speaking, these two are actually married to one another. So you could be married to this person, or you could still be legally married to this person. This could definitely represent somebody that you share a very strong, intense spiritual connection with. I think that given the history between the two of you, I think it's safe to say you know this one over here like the back of your hand, and they know you like at the back of their hand, because I am definitely getting you and this person have a lot of history with one another. You guys might even have like a family. I'm also getting that, you know, as well. But anyways, in regards to how you're currently feeling, okay, I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest, Leo. I'm gonna be honest, okay? I feel like you are sending this person to the right of me a boatload of mixed signals, and it's primarily because you don't know where you want to be. You don't know how to essentially move forward. In other words, I feel like there's times where you give this person the impression that you love them, that you care about. Well, I take that back. Regardless of whatever the hell happened here between you and this person, I take that back. Regardless of whatever happened between you and this person, I do believe that this is somebody that you still love. I do believe that this is somebody that you still care for deeply. I don't think that that's something that's ever going to essentially change. So I take that back. I think that there's times where you give this person the impression that you still want to be with them. There's something that you're doing on your behalf that's causing confusion for them. There's something that you're doing. Well, let me not say that. Let me say something else. Like, for example, let's just say that, y'all are technically speaking, no longer together, but you still go out on dates with them. You still let them sleep over at your place, or you still sleep over at their place. You see what I mean? I'll just leave it right there. You know what I mean? Like, there's something that you're doing on your end that's giving them the impression that you still want this. Okay? You know, so I don't think that you're doing all of this, to play with this person's head or to play with this person's heart. I just think that you don't really know where you want to be. I just think that you don't really know, like, if you're really, really done, you know what I mean, with this person or not, because I'm getting, there's times, you know what I mean, when you find yourself essentially missing them and what you once upon a time had with them. I am definitely getting that. There's times where you definitely do miss this person, what you once upon a time had with them. But I can't emphasize this enough. I don't know what you're doing exactly on your behalf that's causing them to essentially think like they still want me. I mean, because just the other day, yada yada yada. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just feel like your actions kind of confuse this person, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? Anyways, how does this person currently feel? Yeah, well, this person's under the impression that you still love them. Let me take that. Yes, you still love them. Yes, you still care about them. I don't think that's ever going to change, to be honest. Between you and this person, I think that you will forever have love for this person. This person will forever have love for you. I don't think that's ever going to change. What I was going to say, let's just scratch that. But this person's still under the impression that you still want to be with them. I'll say that you still want to essentially be with them. But with the Eight of Swords coming out here again, I just kind of feel like this person's very, very confused. They're very, very confused. And it has a lot to do with your actions. It has a lot to do with, things that you've just been doing since this ending occurred here between the two of you. Okay. It's interesting because, again, I'm not entirely sure what you're doing on your behalf that's leading them to think and believe, like, yeah, like, they still, like, want me because, the other day, whatever, right when this person starts to essentially feel like, all right, boom, like, I guess we're going to end up getting back together, you know what I mean? Because just the other day, yada, 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 you know what I mean? I don't know if this is what they do, but I am definitely getting that just based off of the way that you've been moving in this dynamic that leads them to think and believe like, yeah, we're getting back together, or we are back together, or whatever the fuck, right? When they bring up this conversation, as far as like, okay, like, what are we doing? Like, like, are we getting back together? Are we going to work this out? Like, what are we doing? It's like you tend to fall back into the energy of, oh, I don't know. 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 And it just confuses them. It's like, like, I don't get it. Like, what do you mean you don't know, Leo? Because just the other day, Leo, remember, X, Y, and Z. It's like, what do you mean? Like, you don't know. What do you mean? What do you mean, Leo? What do you mean? What actions will Leo take towards this person or moving forward? Okay, we have the Moon, we have the Nine of Swords, and then we also have the Two of Swords. Before I open my mouth and say anything, tell me more about the Nine of Swords to the Two of Swords. Okay, so we have the King of Wands. Okay, we have the Emperor to the Star. Bottom of the deck, we got the Five of Swords, and then we also, here we go. Okay. So I am definitely getting like a few things here. Possibly, well, I would say a couple of things here. I think that what causes you to fall into this energy of, well, I just don't really know if I want to work things out with this person. Or get back with this person, whatever have you. I feel like it has a lot to do with how much your life has essentially drastically changed now that they're not in it anymore. Okay. Um, in other words, you might find yourself more at peace now that this person's not in your life. You might find yourself more happier, now that this person's not in your life. And a lot of you may fear, right, that if you were to, take this person back or whatnot, you're going to find yourself compromising all those things all over again. And you don't know if you really want to do all of that. I am definitely getting a second storyline, though. What could be creating this energy as far as you being conflicted on whether or not you want to continue to work at this marriage and a relationship could have a lot to do with another person. Okay, if it does have a lot to do with another person, and I really do hate to blow your spot up when I say this, Leo, but I mean it's here, so I'm gonna say it. Just doing my job. I don't think that you want this person to know about this other individual, to be totally honest. Okay. In other words, you're definitely keeping this other individual a secret, is basically what I'm gathering. Is basically what I'm gathering. Personally, when it comes on to this other individual that you're dealing with, for those of you who are dealing with another individual, and this is why you're so conflicted on whether or not you want to take this person from your past back, or if you should just pursue something new with this fairly new person. I personally don't like this new damn person that you're connecting with. Okay, I'm sure they're cute and whatnot, but or they bring like a lot of fun and excitement to your life. I personally don't like this person for you. I mean, considering the fact that you did show up as the high priestess, and this new individual that you're dealing with is showing up as a king of wands like energy. Yeah, no, I don't like this person at all. For you, the likelihood of this dynamic between you and this new person in particular, as far as things working out between you and this person, it's very, very slim. It is very, very slim. I don't foresee, I've never seen the high priestess to the king of wands ever work out. The reason why a high priestess like energy would even gravitate to our king of wands like energy has a lot to do with physical attraction. So you're physically attracted to this person. It has a lot to do with the fact that the king of wands brings that fun and excitement to your life. And they're new. So everything is butterflies, rainbows, and ponies and stuff like that. As far as like it working out between you and this person, like y'all going off and building and establishing a life, with this one over here, no. I just don't see that. I've never seen anybody harness high priestess like energy, get involved with a person that harnesses king of wands like energy and it work out in the end. Never seen it happen a day in my life. And I highly doubt today's going to be the day. It just, these two are like freaking polar opposites of one another, for starters, I feel like your mindset is completely fucking different from this person's mindset. Okay. Life for them is all about cotton candies and rainbows and unicorns and butterflies. And you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, a high priestess like energy is somebody who's trying to settle down. You know what I mean? Build towards a life with someone. A king of wands just wants to have a fucking good old time and party and bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, and on top of that, you come off to me as somebody who has a lot of responsibilities. So you need to be involved. Like, it's not even I want to be, you need to be involved with somebody. That you can lean on, that you can depend on, that you can rely on. You can't lean on this one here. You can't depend on this one for absolutely fucking anything. I mean, it's not a good idea. It's just that this new person's not a good idea. And I think that deep down inside, you kind of know. I think deep down inside, you kind of know, this one is, you might think that they're cute and that's fine. And they might bring a lot of fun and excitement into your life because they're new, but if we're talking about, if we're talking about long-term here, I think deep down inside, this one ain't the one for you, so I don't know. Then there's that, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna encourage you to go down this journey with this new person because you're going to regret it. You're going to regret it. I'm being honest. You're going to regret it, Forget about how cute they look and, how they bring so much fun and excitement to your life and they don't bring all this drama and, chaos. Yeah, that's for now. That's for now. It's just it's a new relationship. It's just getting started. It's just blooming. You know what I mean? Like give it a few years. They're gonna start dry humping your last nerve. You know what I mean? And what makes it 10 times worse is that not only are you gonna deal with somebody who's gonna be dry humping your last nerve from freaking left to right, you can't rely on them. You can't lean on them. You can't depend on them. Like, they don't have the same mindset as you do. They're very very immature, especially, compared to you. Especially compared to you. You're somebody who's mature, responsible, has a good head on, their shoulders. You're dealing with somebody who, again, life for them is like a bunch of, it's nothing but fucking cotton candies and fucking butterflies and rainbows and ponies and shit. Like, they just want to, bullshit and have fun. You know what I mean? Like, don't let this honeymoon stage ever convince you into essentially thinking that this one over here is the one for you, because it's just the very beginning stages. You don't really know them like that, and they don't really know you like that either. You know what I mean? It's just not a good fit. It's just, I'm never going to encourage you to go down this path with this individual, because I know that you will regret it. I've never seen anybody who harnesses Hierophant like energy have a successful relationship with a King of Wands like energy. I've never seen it happen a day in my life, and it's just not gonna happen, Leo. It's not, dude. It's just not worth it's just not worth your time and or investment. I'm not saying go be with this person from your past. I ain't saying all of that. You know what I mean? Don't be with this person from your past if you don't want to, but definitely don't even do it. Don't even bother to even build or establish a life with this person, because all you're going to be experiencing is nothing but fucking headaches. That's it. That's it. Like, I mean, if this person would have showed up as, like, I don't know, like a King of Pentacles like energy, then okay, different story. You know what I mean? That's somebody that you can lean on. That's somebody you could depend on. That's somebody who has their fucking mind right. That's somebody who's mature. Like, all right, cool. I like them. But a King of Wands like energy, absolutely not. No. No. This is somebody who's gonna come into your life and give you nothing but freaking headaches. Nothing but freaking headaches. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. We have the King of Pentacles to the Page of Pentacles. We also have the Ten of Cups, and then we also have the Queen of Pentacles. For some of you, you might have a family with this individual to the right of me, as I mentioned. If so, I feel like not only do they want this dynamic between the two of you to work because they want to, and because they don't want to lose you, but I feel like they also want this dynamic between the two of you to work because, of the family that they have with you, or the life that they were essentially able to build and establish with you thus far, and they just want to continue to pour into it, I just don't feel like this is somebody, who wants to start over. I think that this person knows deep down inside they're never going to find anyone, you know what I mean, better than you, so this is kind of why this person is trying, their hardest to make this relationship between the two of you work. But as far as like whatever the heck you're doing, dude, on your behalf, that's leading them to think and believe you still essentially want this, I think that this person just wants you to be honest with them, but honest with yourself when it comes down to like what you want to do here and how you want to essentially move forward. Okay. Is basically what I'm getting. It's like this person, just wants you to like figure it out on your end in regards to what you want to do and how you essentially want to basically move forward. Because it kind of looks like all you're really doing at this point in time is just confusing them. It's just confusing them. Okay, so we have the King of Cups, we have the Three of Cups, and then we also have the Ten of Pentacles out here. I think that you would be 10 times like better off with this person, from your past that you have all of this history with, than this new person. I think that time is going to essentially reveal to you really, really quickly that this one over here ain't for you. They're not for you. They truly are not for you. They truly are not. So there's a huge possibility that in the end, you might just decide to work things out with this person, you know, from your past. There's a huge possibility that you more than likely are going to go down that route instead of building towards a life with this King of Wands, which I'm really, really happy to see, because I think that honestly, you would have definitely regretted it if you would have, you know, decided to go off and build an established life with this King of Wands like energy. All right. So that is what I have for you. Hopefully the reading helped. Hopefully it resonated, and I will see you guys in your next reading. Bye.